Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the DC State White Tigers Dynasty, where we are going into the off season today. We just finished up season 1 and we're having a number 18 recruiting class this season. So far, at least, we got 3 4-stars, 13 3-stars already. I hope we can add on to that. But I feel like this offseason is not going to be super impactful. We're not going to go for like super many stars in this offseason. We are, however, going to fire both our coordinators because I want different pipelines. And well, this season also was not great, so we're going to fire them. And let's see how or who is on the market. First sim, we get Shakir Parkey, a right tackle. I think he's our first tackle this season. And yeah, we desperately need some O-line help. We also missed out on Braden Ogburn, which is really disappointing. Tennessee overtook us last second. That would also have been a tackle, and that's really disappointing. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? We have a conference championship game of Oregon and Washington, and Oregon did win that and handedly. 4-score game, and Washington didn't stand a chance, but both of them are qualified for the playoff, and we'll check that out in a second. We got another recruit the week after that. It's Jake Gammon, a guard, and we definitely need him as well. We also got a defensive tackle, another position of need, desperate need. Scotty Thompson, 3-star. And then we've got a corner, Jimmy Busby, a 3-star player here as well. Almost all of the players on my board are 3-stars. And now we're going to go through some awards here. We've got the Heisman winner, Eli Holstein from Pittsburgh, threw for 3,212 yards. And 30 touchdowns, 4 picks. Really good. We also win an award. Frederick Grossman is the best tight end in the country, and I'm not surprised. He had 1,600 yards. I had to force feed him the ball so hard because our receivers were so garbage. But I hope this is going to change for next season. It only can get better, I think. Players of the year, or like award watch list here. We've got a head coach of the year from UAB. They somehow made it to the playoff as well, which is kind of a weird thing. You never see UAB get onto it. Best quarterback also goes to Eli Holstein, who led the country in touchdowns, I think. Best defensive player is going to go to an edge rusher that we played against as well this year. And then best defensive back goes to a corner from Cal. Best running back goes to a running back from Cal. That's really funny that these teams, California, Oregon, and Washington, they dominated this year. And this is like the first year after they left the Pac-12. They're just dominating the entire country. It's so funny to me. Best receiver. Best defensive lineman goes to somebody from Michigan. Surprise. Absolutely shocker. Man, we got absolutely annihilated from Michigan this year. They have such strong trenches. Best senior quarterback of the year is Holden Gerner. I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, but that's okay. Defensive end of the year is Patrick Schaller from Michigan as well. And then we got best interior lineman goes to a UNC player in Zach Rice. And then best tight end, we win that, Frederick Grossman. He led the country in receiving yards, which is not going to repeat itself, I'm sure of it, because we're going to get some more receivers to play next year. And I don't feel like we're going to be absolutely one-dimensional this year. And yeah, best center is going to go to Sam Yoon from USC, another West Coast team that joined a East Coast conference this year. Best punter goes to somebody from Tennessee. That is really curious because they also made the playoff, I think. All-Americans. Frederick Grossman made it as a true freshman in the first team on the national level. That is incredible. I actually cannot believe that. That he actually did make it, but it's not about overall, it's about production, and he did earn it. Really, he did earn it. Second team, obviously, we don't have anyone on that team. I'm not shocked about that at all. But we have also a national freshman team, and Frederick Grossman did make that one as well. Nobody else though. That is not surprising at all, but yeah. Let's take a look at the Big Ten teams as well. Obviously we didn't have anybody else here. Let's look at the Big Ten first team. That is gonna be Frederick Grossman as well. Well, I mean, if he makes the national first team, he's obviously gonna make the Big Ten first team as well. One thing that's gonna be very interesting to see is, can we put a couple more players onto these teams for the next season as well? Because we have got a few freshmen that I feel like have a breakout coming. They were true freshmen last season. I redshirted them, and now they're going to be redshirt freshmen this season. And obviously we don't have anybody on the second team either. And then on freshman team, it's again Frederick Grossman. But I do have a surprise for you, because this is not the only player who made the Big Ten freshman All-American team. We do have another one, and we do have him for no longer. Gideon Umodu did make it, but he has a deal breaker, and I don't feel like I have a big chance of persuading him. I didn't the last time around when Kane Powell left the building. But yeah, let's look at dev traits. Austin Westbrook, our quarterback, he has normal dev. Really disappointing. TJ Proctor. We have Dalton Ellington. We have Benjamin Thomason. Most of those don't have anything special. Couple players we haven't gotten yet. Philip Metz, normal. Charlie Hearns, normal. George Halterman, impact, so at least somebody with a little bit. Isaiah Stockton, we haven't gotten him yet. Avery Baggett, a receiver with impact dev. And then we've got Shakir Parkey, impact dev for a tackle. Then we've got Dan Eifert. We've got Jake Gammon, has normal dev. And then we have a recruiting battle here still going on. We have Andy Mayo, star dev, yet another center with a great dev trait. Brian Palumbo has normal, and then Cordell Newcomb, star dev for our 4-star edge rusher. Toviesi is impact dev, and then we've got a 2-star here in Dylan McCaffrey, who is only normal. Cortland Brake had impact, but we didn't get him. And Joel Maddle had normal. Scotty Thompson has normal. There's still a more couple defensive tackles that I still want to get. Matthew Robbins has normal. And now Joe Mandarino has only normal. So didn't get really lucky on our 4-star recruits. We have George Proctor, normal. Ben Baskerville has impact. Trayvon Melvin has star dev. And Jimmy Busby has normal. So we have gotten a few players with good devs, but most of the players are normal or impact. We've got a couple stars here. Now, offering, we've got an OC, Howie Brooks, with a pipeline in Pennsylvania. Doesn't really fit the scheme here, pro style, but that's fine, I think. And then we got Jay Keys, pipeline North Carolina, with a 4-2-5 scheme, which fits perfectly. And we get both of them, even though Maryland was also interested in both of them. But those are actually 2 pipelines I want to open up. We need to get some players from those states. And we've got a couple more commits here. Heath McGinnis. I think this is week 1 of the off-season. A running back that I didn't put a single point into. A tight end, Julius Huckabee. I did also not put a single point into him, besides the scholarship offers, but he committed really quickly. And then let's look at the college football playoff at the end of the off-season, or the postseason, I guess. Where Kansas State wins the college football playoff, which is unbelievable to me. And a 12-seed Auburn went all the way. I could not believe it. Oregon and Washington defeated earlier in the semifinals. And then we get TJ Proctor, a quarterback, 3-star guy who I think had the gem diamond there. And now we're getting to the players leaving stage. Oh no, this is now the start of the offseason. We got Gideon Umodu, no chance of persuasion. And sadly, James Gonzalez, who I had pretty high hopes for, he is also leaving. And the persuasion chance of him is also no. So that's really sad, especially because we didn't have a whole lot of cornerback depth to begin with. He would have been perfect for next year, but can't do anything about that. Start off the offseason, we get Isaiah Stockton, 3-star receiver. He also had the gem diamond there. Zane Hepburn, a fullback, looked okay, looked all right. Let's get a fullback in the building. 3-star guy here as well. Then we get Dan Eifert, a right guard that looked pretty solid to me as well. Shakir Gooch, a defensive tackle that also looked pretty good. I'm kind of excited about him. And I think there is a couple more players if I remember. Yeah, we got Alex Kidsey, a 2-star defensive tackle. I think he's going to be a backup for a while, and then I probably might cut him in a couple years. Dalton Boger, a linebacker. We desperately need linebackers, and he also had the gem thingy, and he looks pretty dynamic. But then we lost out on Johnny Keys at the last second. They overtook us the last week, and he also had the gem thingy. That was really disappointing. Now we are at the end of recruiting this offseason, and we're done. Impact Dev for TJ Proctor. We've got a couple of running backs with normal. We have already seen that. Benjamin Thomason. Yeah. These guys are nothing special. I just wanted some depth. Harvey McGinnis, and then Philip Metz is normal dev. Hearns is normal. Halterman was also... No, he was impact, I remember. Isaiah Stockton has star dev, and this is exactly what we need. I hope he also has or less restrictive caps. I mean, he is a 3-star player. Avery Baggett, Julius Huckabee, impact dev here on him. We've got Parkey, we've got Jason Thompson, who is a tackle that I put on very late in the recruiting process. We got him, he has normal dev. Eifert, Gammon. So we got, finally, a lot of offensive linemen, and we need to continue to recruit there. Palumbo, Newcomb, Toviesi, we already talked about all of those guys. But one good thing is we've got a few edge rushers now. It's not just Schulters and Dozier and nobody else. So that's good. We also got a few defensive tackles. We've got 3 of them on the board. That is Thompson. Gooch here is a gem. Kidsey has normal. Matthew Robbins is normal. Mandarino, we already looked at him. Here, Dalton Boger has star dev, and he is a gem as well. So high hopes for Boger. And then we've got Proctor, Baskerville, Melvin, and Busby. We already looked at all of those. I did not recruit any safeties. I had a couple on my board in the beginning of the season, but they locked me out pretty quickly, and I already knew that I still had 5 safeties on the roster even after Gideon Umodu would leave the team, so I'm fine with that. Now, position changes. TJ Proctor, he is a quarterback, but we got Austin Westbrook, and I don't feel like he has a good chance. And he is an even better running back and receiver, so I'm going to put his speed at receiver because he's a really dynamic athlete. Really love that one for him. And then the other athlete I did a little bit weird stuff with is Avery Baggett. He was supposed to be a possession receiver, but look at his linebacking skills. This kid is like 6'2", 238. And he is a 57 overall receiver, but a 70 overall linebacker. So no questions asked there. He's going to play right off the bat. And yeah, about everybody else, every other athlete just went to their assigned positions. Like Westbrook was a quarterback and he went to quarterback. No news there. This is training results, and I am kind of disappointed. Scioli made a little jump forward, and also Paul Brownlee made a little jump forward, but I had high hopes for Jamie Rhodes and Dalton Ackers to make huge jumps. Scioli made a +2, Brownlee's also +2, Jamie Rhodes is a +3 overall. Josh DeMarco is a +8, but he's not good enough to start anyways. And then Dalton Ackers, he has, I think he has star dev, and he also was a gem. And I can't believe that he didn't go up a single overall point. That is unbelievable to me. Or maybe he made 1 point or something, but he didn't go up at all. And I thought we were going to have a quarterback controversy this year, and it did not happen. I feel like Scioli is going to be the guy. We'll take a look at Westbrook's ratings later. For running back, Spencer Maryland went up 1 overall. George Garrison went up 1 overall, I think. And then we have a running back that we're going to cut soon. We have Dalton Graves, a freshman that was redshirted. He went up a few overall points at least, so that's good news. And then Shot, I don't think he gained a single overall point at all. Then we've got wide receivers, and there is a big surprise. Doug Berry, true freshman, got redshirted. He somehow gained 10 overall points. He's now our best receiver, and he has unbelievable catching ratings. So he's now our number 1 receiver. Don't pay attention to the senior on top of the board. He's going to be cut in no time. Isaiah Truman, same thing here. About 10 overall, gained in training, and he is now our second best receiver. 5'9", 191. He is a slot type. Jeff Garber was one of the starting receivers last season. I think he gained like 4 or 5 overall. And he is also going to play a little bit this year. And then we've got Isaac Waller, 70 overall. Also gained like +6. He is also going to see the field. Mitch Boschetti didn't gain a single overall point, which was very disappointing. But we're going to take a look at him later, and you're going to see why. Eric Flanagan, I think he lost 2 overall somehow. He got worse for some reason. And then Tua Yi didn't gain a whole lot and also has only 80 speed. And then Nolan Rowe, I think he lost 4 overall, because I'm pretty sure he was a 54 overall last season. So he got even worse. Probably going to be cut in a couple seasons. Tyquan Sandland made a pretty big jump. I think he gained 6 overall points, but his speed didn't go up at all. Grossman gained 1 overall. Pollard, I think he gained 7 overall, so he's definitely gonna see the field. And I think he's the one tight end that has star dev. Cole Banks didn't really get a whole lot better, and the senior, you can ignore that one. He's also gonna be cut in no time. Left tackle, we didn't have any to gain anything. Guards either. Center, Jason Moreland, the elite dev center, only got 4 overall points. That is really disappointing to see. But he's going to start this year. I'm going to cut Morse because he's from the Cupcake roster. He does not have anything to do with this rebuild. Mike Meeks, he's the big addition here. He went up, I think, 13 overall points or something. Like something absolutely massive. And he's now a solid guard, I think, on this team. And then tackles, that guy is also going to be cut. Eric Schulters, he is a senior, but he is from this rebuild. He was a JUCO transfer, and he went up to 83 overall. I think if he continues to improve this season, I think there is a chance he might be drafted. I love it. Eric Schulters, but he is still a not great run defender. So we're going to talk about that in a second as well. Arnold Dozier went up 4 overall points. So he looks solid as well. Siaki Crook was redshirted last season and went up, I think 7 overall. So that's pretty excited about for him as well. Defensive tackles. We've got David Gavazza, who went up by 3 overall. He's going to be defensive tackle number 1 this season as well. Trevor Moffitt is going to be the 2nd defensive tackle. He also gained a substantial amount of overall. And then Steven Nizialik, who also gained a few points of overall. So we have 3 defensive tackles to play this year. I hope it's not a downgrade to last year where we had a few of those cupcake players. Alani Siao, I think he gained 7 overall, 7 or 8. But he's a good athlete and I'm excited about his season. Didn't have any other linebackers on the team. John Gammon is the only cornerback left from last year that was not like a true freshman last year. Actually, that was on the team at all last year. He did not gain... actually, I think he gained 3 overall. But he didn't gain any speed, which is kind of disappointing. Isaac York, +1 only. That was pretty disappointing to see. But I think he upgraded a few of his abilities. So it wasn't a complete waste. And for some reason, he has now 97 hit power, which is absolutely ridiculous. And then Maslowski didn't upgrade at all. Joey Weigman, he won big. That's, I think, +10 overall for him. And yeah, just a quick reminder that we lost Gideon Umodu, who was last season's strong safety. So we've got a new starter anyway this year. Lane Van Ness, another big winner. Him, I think also about 10 overall. And that kid has star dev. For kickers, ignore the Newman guy. He's going to be cut. He's from the Cupcake roster. Lanovoy from Virginia Beach made a big jump, and he's going to be our kicker next season. Angel Daniel is going to be the backup. Cam Pounds didn't gain anything, but Spofford did. And now Spofford is the better punter. So that might lead to Spofford being the new starter. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're gonna go through the entirety of the roster today. Wade Scioli, a 1-star recruit. He has made his way to an 81 overall, 5'9", 170, and he is absolutely maxed out. So there's not a whole lot to gain for him anymore. But he looks like the best player. His accuracies have gotten even better. He's now 91 short, 85 medium, 82 deep. By far the best accuracies on the team. I can already tell you that right now. And still a good athlete. And 96 throw power, by the way. Paul Brownlee is now a redshirt freshman. He was a bust when I scouted him, but didn't invest points into him, but just the scholarship offer got him here. Paul Brownlee, 3-star quarterback, 96 throw power, but the accuracies are a little bit worse than what we are used to from Scioli. But he has also some serious speed. He's an even better athlete. Austin Westbrook, our big 4-star quarterback recruit from last year, 6 foot, 206, with normal dev out of Virginia Beach. His caps are kind of worrying. He has 91 throw power and it's not going to get better. 91 is fine. I have no problem with that. That is totally fine. He's a great athlete and he's going to break some tackles. Alright, like this guy is good. But his accuracies are just not there. He's not a good downfield passer at all. And Scioli has him beat by a mile on that. Which means I can now claim that Scioli is going to be the starter, Brownlee is going to be the backup, and we are going to redshirt our 4-star recruit. So he's going to be the starter hopefully next season then. Jamie Rhodes. I expected him to make a big jump. He has 88 throw power, and he can run as well. Good athlete, but his accuracies did not get better at all this offseason. Like, this is just awful. And I had high hopes that he was going to be challenging Scioli this year, but didn't develop at all like I hoped. And I'm even more disappointed in Dalton Ackers, who has star dev, 3-star quarterback, recruited last season. 89 throw power is fine, but his accuracies are not. He did not get better at all, and that was really disappointing to see. I thought for sure we were going to have a controversy here with Ackers and Rhodes and Scioli and Brownlee, like 4 quarterbacks with the potential of like low 80s overall. He has a lot of room to grow, but he didn't grow. And he's also a good athlete. So we have basically only scramblers at quarterback. Let's go to running back, where we are still going to have the same 2 guys running. Spencer Maryland got a little bit better, not a whole lot. He is a solid receiver, but he's capped out with his running back skills now, almost. He did get better at juke and spin move though, so I have hopes for him to be a more productive back this year. George Garrison, normal dev trait, 5'10", 230, running back. He is kind of capped out as a running back. He can break tackles, which is awesome to see. And I hope that he's gonna do that this year, because he didn't last year. And Dalton Graves is gonna be 3rd back, another power back, 5'9", 231, ridiculous size, has solid abilities as a running back, but I don't feel like he's gonna improve a whole lot anymore. So I don't feel like he's ever gonna be a starter for this team. He can break some tackles here and there. He is a good athlete. Like 89 speed as a running back is more than fine. But yeah, all the other running backs are not gonna worth mentioning this time around. They're not gonna play this year. Zane Hepburn is our new fullback. He is going to be redshirted, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Zane Hepburn is almost maxed out already, but he has a little bit of room to grow at least. Let's hope he gets a little bit better. Now, let's talk about our top receivers. Number 1, Doug Berry, 2-star, 6'1", 194. He has a little bit of room to grow, but one thing that is ridiculous about him is his route runnings are nothing special at all, but he won't drop anything, I think. 85 catching, 87 catch in traffic, 92 spec catch. He has 82 speed. That is so slow, but it does not matter because there is nobody on this team that can catch a football this well. So he's gonna play. He's gonna be the number 1 receiver. Isaiah Truman, 3-star receiver, 5'9", 191. He looks more like a slot receiver to me. He is completely maxed out. He's not gonna get better. He is one of the better speed receivers, at least. His route runnings are solid, nothing special. His hands, on the other hand, are not great, but we'll see. I might pull the plug if he doesn't play well. Isaiah Truman has 88 speed though, so at least he has a little bit of athleticism to compete in this Big Ten conference. Jeff Garber, 5'10", 183, 1-star recruit. He played last year. He has a horrible catching rating, but he has improved for a little bit this offseason. He's now a solid route runner, but that 65 catching rating is just so awful. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about with him. 88 speed, we'll see. Maybe Garber is still the guy, but I feel like Truman has the better catching ratings. Isaac Waller is going to be the number 2 outside receiver, 6'4", 207, a 2-star recruit with good hands, but not great route running. I don't feel like he's going to separate a whole lot, but I have high trust in his hands. Not as good as Doug Berry's hands, but good enough for me to start him. Well, I mean, at least on the outside. He also can break a few tackles, which is great, and 86 speed is not as horrible as the receivers we had last year. TJ Proctor is going to be redshirted this year, but I already am so excited about him. 70 overall right off the bat. He has a little bit of room to grow. He can get a little bit better at route running. His hands are kind of maxed out, which is not great, but he also has some running back skills, which kind of makes him intriguing as a slot guy, dump off guy that then can gain some yards after catch. And he has 91 speed as well. Now, you could argue put him at running back, but he's not going to make the difference there. And I don't feel like he's going to improve a whole lot there either. Mitch Boschetti was redshirted last year, played a little bit. 3-star receiver, was a bust when I recruited him, didn't put any points into him beside the scholarship. He is maxed out, and that's why he didn't improve this year, this offseason. I didn't see that, so that's all he's ever going to be. He is never going to start, which is kind of disappointing because if I had known that, or if I had seen that earlier, I could have just started him last year because he's not going to get better than this anyway. 89 speed though. That's the fastest we have at receiver starting this year apart from the red shirts. Isaiah Stockton. Really excited about this kid. 68 overall. Kind of, yeah, he is not going to develop super much, but his hands are okay to start. His route runnings are, yeah, not fine. I'd say okay, I guess. But he is a very dynamic athlete. 93 speed. Excited about that, I can tell you that. All the other receivers, that's not super interesting. They have pretty low caps and nobody's going to see the field this year. So we'll talk about them next year. Frederick Grossman is completely maxed out. 70 overall is all he's ever gonna be, and that is so disappointing after last season. But yeah, he's not gonna get better. He's gonna be our #1 receiver this year as well. I'm gonna force feed him the ball this year as well, but not as much as last year. Javier Pollard, star dev, 3-star recruit, 6'2", 232, with okay route running and pretty good hands. I have high hopes for Javier Pollard to climb a little bit more. His hands are maxed out now, sadly, so he's not going to get a whole lot better there. But he is hopefully going to be a better blocker. Right now, he's just not a better athlete, and he doesn't have better hands than Grossman. So Grossman is going to start. Pollard is going to be the second tight end. Now, on paper, Tyquan Sandland is the best tight end, 74 overall, but he is maxed out. He has 71 speed. So after I did all these recordings, I did actually put him at fullback, which now means that I can redshirt the fullback we've actually gotten. This is our new fullback. Nothing special, but good blocker. He knows how to block. Now, our left tackle situation. We have another left tackle from the Cupcake roster. I can't cut him for some reason because of minimums and stuff. So Jason Thompson, I'm just gonna redshirt him. He has some room to grow. I feel like he can develop into like a high 70 overall player. And he's a good pass blocker right now. Right off the bat, I'm pretty happy with that. His run blocking is god-awful though, so he needs to get better at that, and by a lot. Our left guard, Dan Eifert, is our only guard. He is a true freshman, 3-star player, 6'5", 280, very light for a guard, but didn't have another choice. He's gonna start right off the bat, and with those pass blocking ratings, I'm not that scared. His awareness though, I'm scared about that. And also his run blocking. This kid also only has 80 strength, which is not great. So I feel like the left side of the line is maybe going to be a problem for a while. Center, Jason Moreland, 3-star recruit from last year, 6'1", 285. Only gained 4 overall points. He is the one player with elite dev. And he has so much room to grow, but he has to start this year because I had to cut the Cupcake roster center. We have a second center on the team apart from Moreland, but he is an awesome athlete. Nobody can take that away from him. And he has so much room to grow. I just hope he's going to play a lot this year and get better across the year. Andy Mayo, another really good center prospect with lots of room to grow. I might kick him out to guard or tackle at some point if Jason Moreland actually develops at some point. But this kid can pass block as well. His run blocking is pretty awful. 83 strength is not great though. So I actually might move Jason Moreland now that I think about it, because he has actually like the strength to play tackle at 92. 83 is a little bit low. Mike Meeks, our right guard, he gained a lot of overall points this offseason. Really happy about that. He is a great pass blocker compared to all the other guys on the team, or to everything we had last year. 85 strength, happy about that. Run blocking, not bad. So this guy is actually a good starter this year. 75 run block is not great, but it's also not horrible like the other guys. And then we have Shakir Parkey. Same situation as at left tackle. We have another cupcake right tackle that I can't cut because of roster minimums. So I'm just gonna redshirt Shakir Parkey, and we're gonna have two cupcake tackles start this year. I don't feel like it's gonna make much of a difference, but at least we get the red shirts then. Let's go to the other side of the ball. Eric Schulters is a senior who is still a lot of room to improve. I really hope he improves this year. His finesse moves at 79 can get into the 80s and maybe even the low 90s, I'm not sure. Power moves 82, that's capped out, but he is gonna be a really good pass rusher. He was a good pass rusher last year. 81 strength, really good for somebody that is 6 foot 211. We have a 211 edge rusher before our eyes here. He is just an awful run stopper. 61 block shedding is horrible. He has to improve a lot on that. Cordale Newcomb, 4-star edge rusher who has a deal breaker in playing time. He has a star dev trait, and I am going to start him right away because I don't want him to get any ideas about leaving DC. And he has lots of room to grow in all the right areas. So I have high hopes on him being a draft pick in the distant future, I guess. He is a massive athlete as well, and not just like he has lots of room to grow and he's already like at a good baseline, he's also a great athlete. And then the third edge rusher that's really important this season is Arnold Dozier, who is kind of capped out. He is a redshirt sophomore, so he's gonna be on the team for a little while still. Good power moves, good strength, solid run stopper. Well, actually, that 63 block shedding is not great, I guess, but he has the actual size to play at 250 something on the edge. Yeah, a 211 edge rusher playing the run is just not gonna go over well. So that's what I'm doing. We're gonna have Newcomb start 100%. Dozier is gonna be the edge rusher in base, and then we're gonna have Schulters working as a rush end. Then we have Siaki Crook. Not much to tell about him. He got a little bit better, but he's a backup for now. Nothing special. David Gavazza, normal dev trait, 3-star player that I have already played with last season, and he came on pretty well at the end of the season, and he has still some room to grow. So I'm excited about him as well. 86 strength, that's pretty good. 84 acceleration, pretty good. And he can rush the passer pretty well. His run stopping ability is not great though. Trevor Moffitt, 3-star defensive tackle, 6'1", 287, very light. Just like Gavazza, he has 79 finesse moves. He has 61 power moves. That's not great. But he has 89 strength, which I have high hopes for him being a good run stopper in the future. He's not right now. 57 run stopping or block shedding is not great. Shakir Gooch, a true freshman. He's going to be redshirted this season. He's not going to play. 6'5", 304. He is a really raw player, but he's a great athlete. 66 block shedding right off the bench. That is pretty good. I'm excited about that. He has 93 strength. This is what I'm counting on. After one off season, I hope that he is good enough to get it done next year and be our top defensive tackle. 69 power moves is not great. 58 finesse moves, also not great. He's a run stopper for now, and I hope that next year he's going to be a lot better. Then we have Steven Nizialek, a 2-star player who now sees the field a little bit. 76 power moves, not a great athlete, but 79 finesse moves and 76 power moves. I hope that gets him somewhere. 60 block shedding, not great, but with those pass rushing skills, he's going to be a rush D tackle. Gavazza is going to play full-time, and what's his name? Moffitt is going to be the defensive tackle in base. Oscar Toviesi. I'm really excited about him. He's a very light defensive tackle, but he is going to be hopefully developing a lot, because you see, like, he has lots of room to grow. And I feel like he has a good chance to become a starting defensive tackle next to Gooch in a couple of years. Let's go to the linebackers. Alani Siao played as a true freshman, played solid, I think. Improved about 7 overall this year, and his pass coverage is really good. 81 zone is really good. People are not going to be able to throw it over the middle a whole lot. He is a solid blitzer as well. 60 block shedding is kind of on the lower end of what I hoped, but I feel like his run stopping ability overall is there. And then we have Joe Mandarino, the 4-star run stopping middle linebacker, who also has the deal breaker with playing time. So he is also going to play 100% of snaps, just like Cordell Newcomb. And he's going to be the second part of a duo with Alani Siao. He has really good run stopping ability. His awareness and IQ are not there yet, but 76 zone coverage. This is what I'm counting on. He is going to be a good zone cover linebacker. So we have our top two linebackers. Dalton Boger is not ready to play yet. 6 foot 239. He was a gem and he's a star dev. He's going to be redshirted this year, but I hope that next year he is going to be ready to storm onto the field. His 56 block shedding, though, needs to get a little bit better. What I'm counting on, though, is his athleticism. 91 speed is absolutely awesome. Avery Baggett, the receiver turned linebacker. 6'2", 238. He is going to play as a true freshman in base personnel. He's not ready to start in pass coverage duties, but he knows how to stop the run. He's actually our best run stopper at linebacker. He knows how to do it, and he also has 81 strength, which is very important in the run stopping business. Not a good pass rusher, not great in pass coverage, solid athlete. That was also a reason why I switched him over to linebacker, because 82 speed at linebacker is still slow, but not as slow as that receiver. Let's go to corners. John Gammon is our number 1 corner. And 74 man coverage. I think about the same in zone coverage and something like 86 speed. He has 91 catching. I hope he catches a couple more picks this season. He did improve a little bit, and I feel like most of his development points went into exactly that, his catching ratings. And yeah, that 86 speed doesn't sound great. He's gonna get run over a little bit, but we're gonna play a lot of zone. So I hope his speed doesn't hurt him too much. True freshman Trayvon Melvin, who has star dev. He has 72 man coverage right off the bat. So I am so excited about this kid. He has to start because we don't have a whole lot of corners. He's gonna be the number 2 on the outside. And yeah, I know it doesn't look great here with 60 zone coverage, but he is our best athlete at corner. He has 92 speed, And I hope he can keep up with some of those people. But his zone ability has me worried a little bit. And then we have 3 redshirt players. Jimmy Busby, 6'1", 176, normal dev trait. Just recruited him. He's going to be redshirted this season. He is not really... I mean, he is almost as good as Trayvon Melvin. But he has even better zone coverage. But he is just not quite the athlete. And I'm really excited about getting Trayvon Melvin jump-started on his dev. George Proctor, he is also going to be redshirted. I did redshirt him after I recorded this clip, and I'm gonna tell you in a couple seconds why. Man coverage is there, zone coverage is not. So, yeah, he's kind of very similar to Trayvon Melvin, but he does not have the athleticism. 87 speed at corner is not great right now, and he's not gonna get better at that. Ben Baskerville, Impact Dev, 6'1", 190, 3-star player. Also 66 overall, just like the other 2 corners that I'm gonna redshirt. And his man coverage is not really there. And his zone coverage is also not really there. So yeah, I kind of had to choose one of these players, and I was like, Trayvon Melvin has a star dev, I'm gonna get him started. 90 speed though on Ben Baskerville, so there is some hope for his development. Let's switch it over to safety. Isaac York, big disappointment, only 1 overall point gained, but I think he upgraded a few of those abilities. Still a good zone cover corner. His power, his hit power is 97. It is absolutely ridiculous. I hope he can cause a few fumbles. Man coverage is okay. But he's a good athlete at the back end, so I'm really hyped about him. Rob Maslowski, 2-star player from Washington, D.C. He has his role taken away from him this time around. And that is because we have actually a different solution now for slot corner, which he played last year. I'm not sure if he's ever going to see the field a whole lot again, so I don't know if it's worth it talking about him. This, however, Joey Weekman gained 10 overall, and he is going to be the new slot corner. And I actually changed his position to cornerback after I recorded all these clips and made the video, because he is too slow for playing over the top safety. 84 speed to me is okay if you're playing close to the line, and I almost switched him to linebacker, but I felt like at slot corner, he's also going to do some damage. And then our new starting strong safety is going to be Lane Van Ness, who has, I think, star dev. He's really good at that. Is already a solid run stopper, as a safety at least. He can hit. He has 87 hit power, so we're going to have a hard-hitting safety duo there. And he knows how to cover a little bit. 84 speed on him as well, but at least he has a little bit more acceleration. And then a backup safety, Sam Ika, 3-star player as well, was redshirted last year, just like the other 2 players I just talked about, Weekman and Van Ness. His coverage is pretty bad, so he has not developed a whole lot in that regard. But he is a half solid run stopper, I'm guessing. And his man coverage is actually not horrible. It's just his zone is so bad. And yeah, he's also not a great athlete. He's not even an okay athlete. 82 speed actually makes me want to switch him to linebacker. But for now, he's going to stay at safety. Donald Lanovoy. He's going to be our kicker this year. He has a little bit of room to grow. He's the better kicker of the 2 we have. 84 power and 79 accuracy. And he actually can throw a little bit, so maybe I might break a fake field goal out this year. Punters, we have 2 that might play. Cam Pound, he is maxed out as a kicker. 84 kick power and 79 kick accuracy. This is kind of not great, and that is why I have decided that Dylan Spofford is going to be the starter. He's a redshirt freshman. and he's also capped out on kick accuracy, but he's already at 84 kick accuracy. And his kick power can get better, and it's a tie on the kick power. So Spofford is going to be the new starter. And that's our team for this season. Let's look at the schedule. I'm so excited. We're gonna start it off with an away game at Navy. We got blown out by them last year, 61-19. I hope we can compete this year. Then second game, a game against James Madison. We have them travel over from Virginia. So very quick trip to the Potomac River Stadium. And then our away slate starts. UCLA, Michigan. Those are two games I do not think we're gonna win. And then Indiana and Michigan State. Those are the two games I hope to win. Nebraska. That's the last away game of the season. And then we have 5 home games. Virginia, Northwestern, Washington, Maryland, and Ohio State. So, yeah. This is not an ideal schedule, but this is what the game generated, and I'm not going to regenerate it. And then I just added the non-conference games. And I'm really excited to play Virginia again this year. We almost beat them last year, and we didn't almost beat them, but we had a somewhat close game. So I hope we can compete this year. And then Maryland, we almost tied it up in the last few seconds of the game last year. So we have a chance, I think. Navy, don't know how to look at those people, but yeah. And James Madison I only put on the schedule because that's one of the weaker teams, and I feel like we need to have at least one game that's like winnable, I guess. Because we're still going to be underdogs in all the other 11 games, definitely. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more White Tigers Dynasty. See you next time. Have a great day.